How you doing today? How was your set?
My set was really well. I played a bit more of the progressive stuff that I've really been into lately, and some more of the uplifting stuff that people are used to from me. And yeah, it was really great. Great response from the crowd, and yeah, as I've had so far with all other Luminosity parties, everyone is really into the music, really into the whole set, very interactive with me, and yeah, well, that's the best kind of crowd you can have.
You're 17 years old right now. Do you ever get tired of questions about your age?
I sometimes do, but then again, I understand that it's not something you experience every day, that you find a 17-year-old doing what I do. But yeah, it's not like I'm really annoyed by it. But, yeah, no.
What's the pressure like? I know Armin has a quote that he said that you'll be one of the top producers in trance before you reach legal drinking age in the Netherlands. What's the pressure like?
Well, I don't really think there's a pressure. I still keep doing what I want to do myself, and yeah, if there's a pressure, then it's a pressure that comes from myself. I want to keep pushing myself to the max and make sure I do my best to get as far as possible. And yeah, there's not really any pressure from outside. There's a lot of support, actually, instead of pressure. And yeah, I think I'm not at my top yet, so I just keep doing what I do and ask as much as possible from myself.
That sounds really good. You produced your first track when you were 7 years old.
Correct.
What did that sound like? And yeah, what did it sound like?
Well, my very first track was probably just something I made within a few hours someday when I was playing around with music. But if you really look at the first complete track I made, then I'm embarrassed for it right now, because yeah, it's so amateuristic. But then again, I was 7, 8, so you can't expect a 7 or 8-year-old to make a perfect track. But yeah, I think my parents already knew back then that I had the potential to become bigger with it and make something out of it. And so yeah, you start like producing terrible tracks, and everybody does, and you just have to be patient enough and to keep on going until you are at a level where you can produce some decent tracks.
Your first contact with trance was back in 2003, 2004, hearing sets from Tiesto. How do you see trance evolving? Because it has changed a lot since then. How do you see it evolve even more in the future?
Well, I think because right now trance is like blending with house, dubstep, electro house, all kinds of genres. And I don't think that's going to stop in the, well, at least in the next 2 years. And I don't really mind. For me as a producer, it gives me new opportunities to try different styles, different kind of tracks, different structures in my productions. And yeah, trance has had like a peak back in the days, and it's looking like it's going to have another one really soon. It's getting bigger, it's getting more promotion. Like trance is becoming a more known genre. It's being played on the radio and stuff. So yeah, I think it's going to be a lot bigger than it is right now, and I honestly can't wait until that happens.
Right after you heard the sets from Tiesto, the first trance connection of yours, what happened then? How did you get into producing And what happened right after that?
Between listening to Chester's DVD and actually started producing, it's like this whole process of searching artists on YouTube, because I watched the DVD. I wanted to find out what he was playing, because I like the tracks and I wanted to find out who made them. And yeah, I've been like looking on YouTube for those tracks for about a year or even 2 years. At a certain point I thought, I don't just want to listen to this, I want to try and make this, because I was so passionate about music already. And it just seemed like a logical step for me to start making my own music. And yeah, in the beginning I really tried to base my productions, my sound on what others did. And eventually I started like to evolve my own kind of sound. And yeah, that's basically what I did after hearing that DVD. And when I got my first music program, that was probably about 2 or 3 years after that. Yeah, that's where it actually all began. And between that I didn't do any producing, but just got more and more into the music itself.
You produce, I mean, everything from chill to progressive to pure uplifting. How hard is it to do those different styles, and where do you feel most at home?
I think because it really differs. Like for the last few years I've been producing uplifting mainly, and that's something I've really liked. But right now I'm experimenting with all kinds of styles, and I'm still a bit searching what my favorite is of those and where I want to go. But I'm really into the more progressive stuff, as you can hear in my latest EP, the Jordin EP. It's really a blend of the really deep kind of house, the more house trancey like you'll hear on a label like Anjuna Deep, and the third track, which is the remode of the original. It's like this electronic post-rock something. I don't really know what to call it, because that's one of the problems we had when we decided to release the track. We were like, what are we going to call this? We have no idea what it is. And for me, it's really fun to produce tracks like that. I don't necessarily feel like I have to make a certain genre, but yeah, if I really have to decide where I feel most at home, then it's probably more into that direction. And yeah, the more clubby trance as well. It's like 2 different styles that I'm really into. It's the really progressive stuff and the more clubby trance. And yeah, I really want to keep producing both. It's not really like I want to go in one certain direction. I want to keep my options open.
The typical Juventa elements in your productions, and do you yourself see them in your chill or your progressive and your uplifting as well tracks?
Well, I think for me it's really hard to like point out a certain sound or thing that's typical for me, but for artists it's probably more easy to hear, because yeah, I listen to my own stuff all day long and I sometimes really get tired of it. But yeah, a few elements that I've been using a lot is some of the sine wave synths I really like. And well, yeah, lately I'm really into vocal chops. It's something that's been in a lot of my productions, and I really think it gives the track that little extra thing. And yeah, I think if there's something typical, then it's the sound as a whole. And it's really hard to describe what that sound is. It's something like you would probably recognize the track by Armin, not mainly because there's a certain sound Armin keeps using, but because you know Armin's sound and you recognize it. And I think it's the same with my productions.
You have a new vocal track going on.
Yes.
What can you tell us about it right now? Your first vocal track.
Yeah, it's my very first vocal track, and I'm really excited to work on it, because I've been working with vocals in the past, but on remixes. And to actually work on a track with my own vocals, and it's really awesome, and I'm really looking forward to finishing it. I'm still working on it, and it's the vocals are from well-known singer Jessa. Her sister is singing as well, and she's doing the vocals for the track. And yeah, I basically got a little sample of something she sang, and I kind of built a track around it and sent it back to the label, and I really like the idea. So the vocals are being re-recorded. I'm making a few more adjustments to the track, but it's going to be big. It's going to be big. Yes.
You started DJing last year. What was your first gig like, and what is it like to play your own tracks up there?
My first gig was, funny enough, for Luminosity as well, and it was the Christmas edition. And I remember I was really nervous when I got there, and I actually felt a bit sick before I had to play. But eventually, it all turned out well, and I felt great. I had a great set, great crowd. And from that point on, I knew it was something I wanted to do as well, next to the producing. And yeah, I've been doing it for about a year and a half right now, and I really like the feeling of playing my own tracks, and well, road testing a few of the new tracks as well, of course, that nobody has heard yet. Like I did tonight, I brought a few of my new exclusive tracks, and they went down really well. And I'm pretty sure you'll hear a few more of them tomorrow at ASAT. So definitely going to be there.
What do you have going on production-wise right now, apart from the vocal track?
Apart from the vocal track, I have a collaboration with Dutch-Italian trio Answer 42. We've been working on it for quite a while right now, and we finally come to a point where we think the track is good enough to release. And I have a new EP lined up. It hasn't been played yet, but I think it's going to be really nice. And yeah, of course, I'm always busy remixing, so there's definitely going to be a few more remixes out soon.
Sounds like you'll have a busy 2012 then.
Yeah, yes, definitely. Yeah. This is Juventa, and thank you for watching this interview. Cheers.